What happens when Hollywood's most outspoken tough guy goes head-to-head with daytime television's most controversial host? You're about to find out. Mark Wahlberg just got himself kicked off The View after an explosive confrontation with Joy Behar that no one saw coming. This wasn't just another awkward celebrity interview gone wrong. It was full-blown verbal warfare. The studio audience gasped. The other hosts scrambled to regain control, and the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. What started as a routine promotional appearance quickly turned into one of the most dramatic moments in daytime TV history. The studio in New York City buzzed with anticipation. The camera panned across the iconic semicircular desk where Joy Behar sat at the center, flanked by Whoopi Goldberg, Sarah Haynes, Alyssa Farah Griffin, and Sunny Hostin. The energy in the room spiked when the guest was introduced. Mark Wahlberg, the Boston native known for never backing down from a fight. "Welcome back to The View," Joy said with her signature smirk. "We're here with Mark Wahlberg, star of the new action thriller dominating the box office." Mark leaned back in his chair, dressed in a tailored navy suit and wearing that unmistakable Wahlberg confidence. "Thanks for having me, Joy. Always a pleasure." But Joy Behar is not one for small talk, especially with a guest who's made headlines for his political opinions. "So, Mark," she began, her voice taking on that sharp prosecutorial edge, "you've been pretty vocal about your political views lately. Some might say you're trying to use your platform to push a certain agenda." The studio fell silent. Mark's smile remained, but his posture shifted. "I think everyone's entitled to their opinion, Joy. That's what makes this country great. Freedom of speech." "Oh, freedom of speech," Joy repeated with a sarcastic lilt. "How convenient. But when your speech spreads misinformation and divides people, don't you think you have a responsibility to your fans?" Whoopi attempted to interject, but Joy cut her off sharply. "I can speak for myself," she snapped, before turning back to Mark. "You've made some pretty controversial statements about immigration and social issues. Don't you think you should stick to acting and leave political commentary to people who actually know what they're talking about?" Mark's jaw tightened. "Excuse me? Are you saying I'm too stupid to have an opinion because I'm an actor?" "I'm saying maybe you should think before you speak," Joy shot back. "When you have millions of followers, your words have consequences." Sarah Haynes tried to smooth things over, but Joy wasn't backing down. "Do we really appreciate spreading divisive rhetoric?" she pressed. "Mark, you grew up in a working-class family in Boston. How can you support policies that hurt working families?" Mark's face flushed red as the famous Wahlberg temper surfaced. "Hold on a second, Joy. You don't know anything about my background. I was working construction jobs at 15. I know what it's like to struggle and fight for everything you have. Yet you support politicians who want to cut programs that help struggling families." Joy countered. Alyssa Farah Griffin cleared her throat. "Maybe we should focus on the movie." "No, let's not," Joy snapped. "This is important. You have a platform and you're using it irresponsibly. You're spreading conspiracy theories. You're promoting division. Your fans deserve better." Mark shot to his feet, his chair sliding back. "Conspiracy theories? Lady, you've been pushing conspiracies for years. Remember when you said the election was stolen? Oh, wait, that was when your side lost. When the other side says it, suddenly it's a conspiracy." The audience gasped. Joy's face went pale, then red. "How dare you? How dare I?" "This show doesn't belong to you, Joy," Mark fired back. "You interrupt everyone. You talk over your co-hosts. And now you're trying to lecture me about responsibility?" Sunny Hostin tried to keep the conversation steady, but Mark wasn't finished. "There's nothing constructive about this. Joy attacked me personally, questioned my intelligence, and told me I don't know what I'm talking about. She's exactly what's wrong with political discourse in this country." Joy slammed her hand on the desk. "That's it. I don't have to sit here and take abuse from someone who thinks his opinion matters more than facts." "Facts?" Mark's voice rose to match hers. "You've been wrong about almost everything for the past decade. You called Trump a joke, said he'd never win. You said the economy was great while families struggled to put food on the table. You live in a bubble, Joy. The tension was unbearable. Whoopi signaled frantically to the producers. Sarah's knuckles turned white around her mug. Alyssa looked ready to disappear. A bubble? Joy shot back. You live in a mansion in Beverly Hills. Don't lecture me about being out of touch. At least I remember where I came from, Mark said, his Boston accent thickening. You sit here every day telling America what to think. Half the time, you don't even know what you're talking about. Whoopi finally spoke, trying to bring calm. Okay, everyone needs to take a breath. We can disagree without— No, Whoopi, Joy interrupted, pointing at Mark. This man comes on our show, disrespects me and the audience, and I'm supposed to just sit here and take it? Mark laughed bitterly. Disrespect? You started this. You came at me the moment I sat down. You questioned my intelligence, my right to an opinion, and now you're playing the victim. Sonny tried again, carefully. Mark, I think what Joy is trying to say is that with great platform comes great responsibility. When you have millions of followers— Stop, Mark cut in. Mark holds up his hand. Just stop. Do you hear yourselves? You're all defending her behavior like it's normal, like it's okay to ambush a guest, attack them personally, and try to humiliate them on national television. Sarah Haynes, visibly uncomfortable, tries to redirect the conversation. Maybe we can talk about your new movie. I heard the action sequences are incredible. No, Sarah, Joy cuts her off, her voice trembling with rage. We're not moving on until Mark apologizes for his outburst. This is completely unprofessional. Mark's eyes widen. I need to apologize? For what? For defending myself? For not letting you bulldoze me like you do everyone else? For being disrespectful, Joy snaps. For raising your voice. For making personal attacks. Personal attacks? Mark's voice rises. You literally called me stupid in the first 5 minutes of this interview. You questioned my background, my intelligence, my right to have political opinions, but somehow I'm the one making personal attacks. Alyssa Farah Griffin steps in carefully. I think we all need to acknowledge that this conversation has gotten heated, and maybe we should what? Joy spins on her. Maybe we should let guests come on our show and berate the hosts? Is that what you're suggesting, Alyssa? I'm suggesting, Alyssa replies evenly, that we all take responsibility for how this conversation escalated. Oh, so now it's my fault? Joy's voice climbs higher. I'm just supposed to sit here and let Mark Wahlberg lecture me about journalism, politics, and responsibility? I've been doing this for decades. I don't need some actor telling me how to do my job. Mark slams his hand on the desk, making everyone jump. There it is. The real Joy Behar. This isn't about having a conversation or respecting different perspectives. It's about your ego. You can't handle being challenged. You can't handle someone not backing down from your intimidation tactics. Intimidation tactics? Joy fires back, her face flushed red. You're the one who stood up. You're the one who raised your voice. I stood up because you were attacking me, Mark cuts in sharply. And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and let you continue this charade. You want to know what intimidation looks like? It's using your platform to silence people who disagree with you. It's ganging up on guests with your co-hosts. It's creating an environment where people are afraid to speak their mind. Whoopi tries to intervene. Mark, please, let's just— No, Whoopi, Mark says, his voice now dangerously calm. I'm done. I came here to talk about my movie, to have a civil conversation. Instead, I got ambushed by someone who clearly has a personal vendetta against anyone who doesn't share her worldview. Joy rises to match his energy. Personal vendetta? You think this is personal, Mark? This is about principle. This is about not giving a platform to dangerous rhetoric. Dangerous rhetoric? Mark laughs bitterly. What's dangerous is thinking you're the arbiter of truth. What's dangerous is believing only your opinions matter. What's dangerous is deciding what millions of Americans are allowed to hear. Sarah looks close to tears. Can we please just— No. Joy cuts her off sharply. Sarah, not now. Mark, if you think your views are so important, why don't you start your own show? Why don't you get your own platform instead of coming on ours and disrespecting everything we've built? Everything you've built? Mark's voice drips with disbelief. Joy, this show was successful long before you got here, and it'll be successful long after you're gone. The problem is, you've forgotten this is supposed to be a conversation, not a lecture hall where you get to indoctrinate people. The studio falls silent. Even the producers stop signaling, mesmerized by the confrontation. Sunny tries to be the voice of reason. I think we're all passionate about our beliefs, and that's okay. But maybe we can find common ground. Common ground? Joy's voice cracks. Sunny, there's no common ground with someone who promotes division, spreads misinformation, and uses his celebrity to push a harmful agenda. Mark's face hardens. You want to talk about harmful? What's harmful is telling people their opinions don't matter unless they match yours. What's harmful is creating an us versus them mentality. What's harmful is exactly what you're doing right now. What I'm doing? Joy's voice shakes. I'm holding you accountable. I'm asking tough questions. I'm not just letting you come on here and spout your propaganda unchallenged. Propaganda, Mark repeats, his voice dropping to a low whisper. Do you even hear yourself? You're so consumed by your own righteousness, you can't see how you're behaving. You're bullying me. You're bullying your own co-hosts. And you're doing it while pretending to be the victim. The camera catches Joy's face as the words land. For a moment, she looks shaken. Then the walls go back up. I'm not bullying anyone. I'm doing my job. I'm asking the questions that need to be asked. No, Mark says flatly. You're grandstanding. You're performing for the cameras. You're using me as a prop in your own political theater. The silence that follows is deafening. Joy opens and closes her mouth, unable to respond. Her co-hosts exchange uneasy glances. Political theater? She finally sputters. You think this is theater? Mark, you came on my show. There it is again, Mark interrupts. My show? Joy, this isn't the Joy Behar show. This is The View. But you've turned it into your personal soapbox. And anyone who disagrees with you gets exactly the treatment I'm getting right now. Whoopi clears her throat. Mark, I think we need to take a step back here. This conversation has gotten way too heated. Has it, though? Mark turns to her. Or has it just gotten too honest? Whoopi, you've been sitting here watching Joy attack me this whole time. And this is the first moment you've tried to stop her. Why is that? Whoopi looks caught off guard. I was trying to let you both express your views. No, you were letting Joy express hers, Mark corrects. Every time I tried to defend myself, she interrupted. Every time one of you tried to change the subject, she shut you down. She's not just disrespecting me, she's disrespecting all of you. Sarah Haynes looks like she wants to crawl under the desk. Mark, I don't think that's fair to say, is it? She says carefully. Mark's gaze shifts to her. Sarah, how many times have you tried to change the subject today? How many times has Joy cut you off? Count them. Sarah's face goes pale as she realizes he's right. The cameras catch her quietly counting on her fingers under the desk. Her expression says it all. Joy, sensing the narrative slipping out of her control, lashes out. That's enough, Mark. You're way out of line. You're attacking me, the show, and my co-hosts. I'm not attacking anyone, Mark replies calmly. I'm pointing out behavior. I'm calling out what everyone can see, but nobody wants to acknowledge. What everyone can see, Joy shouts, her voice rising, is a guest who can't handle being challenged, who throws a tantrum when asked tough questions. Tough questions? Mark's calm cracks. Joy, you didn't ask me tough questions. You made accusations. You questioned my intelligence, my background, my right to have opinions. That's not journalism. That's harassment. Alyssa Farah Griffin, who's been quiet most of the exchange, finally speaks up. You know what? Mark's got a point. Joy, you did come at him pretty hard right from the start. Joy spins on Alyssa, fury etched across her face. You're going to side with him against me? I'm not siding with anyone, Alyssa replies firmly. I'm just saying maybe we could have approached this differently. Approached what differently? Joy's voice cracks. Holding celebrities accountable? Asking hard questions? Doing our job? Sunny Hostin, who's been trying to stay neutral, finally loses her patience. Joy, that's not what happened here, and you know it. You went after him personally from the moment he sat down. Joy looks around the table in disbelief. I can't believe what I'm hearing. My own co-hosts are turning on me to defend someone who came on our show and disrespected everything we stand for. We didn't turn on you, Whoopi says softly. We're just trying to be fair. Fair? Joy's voice sharpens. Fine, Mark. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to apologize to me, to the show, and to our audience. Or you're going to leave. Those are your options. Mark stares at her for a long moment, then laughs. A cold, bitter sound. You're giving me an ultimatum on live television. Joy, do you have any idea how this looks? It looks like I'm standing up for myself on my show, Joy says, but her voice wavers. It looks like you're having a meltdown, Mark shoots back. It looks like you can't handle being called out for your behavior. It looks like you're so used to people being intimidated by you that you don't know what to do when someone pushes back. The studio falls silent. Even the cameras seem to be holding their breath. That's it. Joy stands abruptly. Security, I want him removed from the building now. The other hosts are stunned. Sarah gasps. Whoopi's mouth falls open. Sunny shakes her head. Joy, you can't just... Alyssa starts to protest. I can, and I will. Joy cuts her off. This is my show, and I won't be disrespected like this. Mark stands slowly, calm and deliberate. You know what, Joy? You're right. This is your show. You've made that crystal clear. But here's the thing. America's watching. They're seeing exactly who you really are. They're seeing how you treat people who disagree with you. They're seeing how you treat your own co-hosts when they don't fall in line. Get out, Joy says through clenched teeth. I'm going, Mark replies, straightening his jacket. But before I do, I want to say something to the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what passes for civil discourse in America today. This is what happens when you dare to have a different opinion. This is what happens when you don't bow down to the thought police. Security! Joy screams, her voice cracking. Mark turns to the other hosts. Ladies, it's been real. Whoopi, Sarah, Sunny, Alyssa, you all seem like decent people. Maybe it's time you ask yourselves if this is really the kind of show you want to be part of. As security approaches, Mark raises his hands. I'm going peacefully. But Joy, you just proved every point I was trying to make. You just showed America exactly what kind of person you are. And I don't think it's the look you were going for. Joy is visibly shaking, pointing at him as security escorts him toward the exit. Don't you dare lecture me about civility. Don't you dare come on my show and act like you're the victim here. I'm not the victim, Mark calls back. But neither are you. The real victims are the people watching at home who deserve better than this kind of toxic behavior from their media. The cameras follow him as he's escorted out, capturing his final words. America, you deserve hosts who can have a conversation without having a breakdown. You deserve better than this. The studio is silent. Joy stands there, shaking, surrounded by co-hosts staring at her with a mix of shock and disappointment. The audience is equally stunned. Whoopi finally speaks, her voice low. Well, that was something. Joy collapses back into her chair, looking smaller than anyone has ever seen her. I was just... He was so disrespectful. Joy, Sunny says gently, maybe we should go to commercial. No, Joy answers, trying to steady herself. We're not running away from this. America saw what happened here. They saw a guest who couldn't handle being challenged, who threw a tantrum and had to be removed. But even as she says it, she knows how hollow it sounds. The damage is done. America didn't see what she wanted them to see. They saw a host lose control, unable to handle being called out, resorting to removing a guest instead of engaging. As the show cuts to commercial, the silence lingers. The hosts sit in stunned quiet, each lost in thought. And across the country, millions of viewers are forming their own opinions about what they just witnessed. Mark Wahlberg didn't just get kicked off the show. He exposed behavior viewers had long suspected. The question now is, whose side will America take?